Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks, everybody who's rolling in right now. I appreciate that. What's up, everybody? American Anchor Baby here Wednesday, 12 o'clock. We got about to get going here. Much appreciated. What's up, everybody? We're going to get into it. We got a show. I want to continue, a little bit of a surprise here, at least to some, on the McCarthy stuff. Kevin McCarthy, speaker, following it a little bit, learning as I go. Very interesting. But just a little thing on that. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about the Aztecs and the end of the Aztecs and how we should be glad. We should be happy. But some aren't. And there was a spat about it even today that ended up with someone shot. Was it a good shoot? We'll get into it. People mad about things still. Blood feuds that continue today when the ones who started it are long gone. Incredible. Everything good, Bill? What's up? My heart dropped, but that was just Satan talking to me in my head. It's just Bill. It means everything's good. Everything's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill in the building. Hey, Bill. What's up, Rumble? Over there at rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. It keeps growing. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mail What's Ken? Up, Rumble? Oh, over there. Just had double Anchor Baby there. Mail Ken? I've never seen that name. King of Graduates. What's up, everybody? TJ Hilliard. Much appreciated over there on Rumble. You can watch, support, do your thing over there on Rumble. Thank you. So. We're going to tell what was I saying? What we're getting into, whatever. We'll get into all of it. That, amazing things and more, and your calls here on American Anchor Baby. 888-775-3773. You want to get on the air? You can call in. I heard Hake was trying to do a Chewbacca sound. Now, I don't know if this is how Peter, whatever. I don't want to sound like, oh, you know anything about Star Wars. I really don't. Peter Mayhew. I don't know his technique, but the classic Chewbacca sound is with a rolling R. So there you go, Hake. All right. Now that's out of the way. 11, stream great. 1, stream good. Oh, we're talking? Things are good? Little Hakers. Yeah. Check out the Hake Report. Great episodes today on the network. We're almost seamless. Okay, wait. Don't laugh. Look, very soon you will be able to call a number and you will hear the shows back to back on your phone through a number. Why are you laughing, Bill? Where's the gusto? Where's the joie de vivre of life? Huh? Don't shake your head. What the heck? We're like, you're making it seem like an impossible task. Like there's a mountain to climb. No, I'm just playing around. Just playing around for the show. We're having fun today on Wednesday, which is before Thursday. No, I'm joking. Having fun with Bill here. Look, you heard that little alert sound on the Hassan. Speaking of the network, wow, Hassan, great episode. Walking on Water, Hassan on YouTube. That's Walking on what is it? @ Walking on Water Hassan on YouTube. You can check him out. He was live today at 11 a.m. And he had an emergency alert in the middle of the show. The government, and who had his phone silenced? We all got this alert, right? We all got this phone alert in the office. You saw Hassan got it live on the air. Emergency alert, emergency alert. I'm thinking, well, I wasn't thinking it was the Amber Alert, even though it's kind of reminded me of when we get those on the phones. I knew it wasn't. Because I'm an informed individual. I'm an informed individual, and I go through the news aggregates, and I know the news. So that's my character. That's my character making fun of a rat race individual, Bill. I read the news, and so I'm an informed individual, so I'm prepared for anything. What do you think about him? Massive emergency alert test scheduled to hit your phone Wednesday. Here's what to know. See, I'm an informed individual. As an informed individual, I will avoid all issues and pain and whatever strikes because I have the emergency alert on. Joel, and I was teasing it who it was. Maybe I shouldn't say, but it was Joel who didn't hear the alert due to, I don't know, he said, oh, my phone was silenced or something. That's what you're going to say when the nuclear bomb hits, man? Oh, no. Oh, my phone was silenced. I didn't see the alert. See, Joel, we're living, the rest of us in the office, obviously we're living through a nuke strike. Sorry, buddy. You're not getting it. Obviously everyone's being vaporized. It doesn't matter if you get I'm an informed individual, though. Emergency alert test. We got emergencies. You got to understand. Oh, and in this article here from USA Today talking about this thing, it reiterates here. It's kind of written it's written in a fascinating way. Get ready to not freak out, it reads. On Wednesday, October 4th, radio and cell phone in the United States should blare out the distinctive, jarring electronic warning tone of an emergency alert. Hold up. I had a supplementary article which I've seemed to have lost. Wait. Okay, I got it. I found it, y'all. The show is still going. So this USA Today article, it's a test, only a test, it reiterates. Officially, the trial is called the Nationwide Emergency Alert Test. You know it's a test and not an actual emergency because it's accompanied by an explanation. And no, USA Today reiterates, it's not a national conspiracy to infect people with nanoparticles. You dumb. Yes, it does. It goes back all the way back to the Cold War, 1950s. Also, it's apparently... Good thing I read this. By the way, any jokesters who are listening to the show, you pranksters and comedians, it's a federal. Well, let me see. I don't know if it's federal, but it's a big fine. A big fine if you go around playing the tone. Apparently, it's happened to podcasts in the past. Getting charged with big old fines for playing the emergency alert test tone. You're only allowed to describe it with the official description. And it says something like a one long tone of 2 seconds followed by two tones of half a second with half a second in between each. Anyways. Deet, deet, deet. There you go. I couldn't help myself. I described it, I heard it in my mind, and then I couldn't help myself. I really, truly am subject to my thoughts. I described it using the official explanation. I realized the official explanation was such a good description that I had to pantomime, or just actually do it. So they had what am I talking about here? They got the alert. That's what Hassan got on his phone. And the way this article was written was interesting. They were reading about it, these conspiracies. People were saying, you're about to get hit with 5G, so turn off your phones. Now, we have our fun here and all that. I mean, you got to understand, like, just logically, if your phone had that capability to begin with, hope I don't have to explain some of these things, but maybe I do. If your phone had that capability to begin with, the ability to burst out 5G that could harm you, or nanoparticles, this one event and protecting yourself by turning it off for this one event, I mean, you know, like, you got to think strategy here. The problem's not avoiding this one televised event. If they were trying to get you, anyways, here I am trying to assuage worried minds, and I may have just made it worse. Nightmare. Those voices, they're real. No, that's a joke. Well, it's Satan, but that's the real conspiracy. Satan in your mind. Anyways, also the way it's written, side note, interesting. The need to even put this in the article. You gotta consider like a basic kind of like a basic function or faculty of our society today. If I may use inaccurate language here in hopes to paint a picture for you, if you follow me here for a second. It feels like the fact that the USA Today even has to comment on that shows a couple things to me. Maybe it's a stretch. Call in, 888-775-3773. Call me a ridiculous man with a microphone who doesn't know what he's saying. But the fact that they put this in the article. Hey, so conspiracy theories, by the way, it's not a conspiracy theory. Think about warning signs. Like, don't eat that. Don't put this in your mouth. It's toxic on different packages and stuff. I remember reading about how in certain countries they don't have a seatbelt law, or a drinking age or something like that because it's like culturally regulated. And I heard someone make this commentary once that has been lost in America. In that you have to put a warning sign about everything. You have to make everything stupid, dumb it down, and write everything, make it obvious. But in that is like a repeating cycle, interference loop. What's it called when it exponentially increases in a loop? You make people dumber, so you get more of the problem you're trying to stop. Anyways, just kind of what I thought about it. So the emergency alert system, ominous, so ominous, but whatever. It's just an emergency alert, right? As one of these informed news people, gosh, I'm cringing at myself. I was reading about a similar alert that went over there in Russia. You know, they got a war going on over there. First, a couple of firsts evers in the history of the United States and the history of Russia. We had the whole speaker battle, which we'll get into a little bit here. Historic firsts, politically. Impeachments, indictments, president. But also Russia had a first. Vladimir Putin, okay. The day right before today's test, 2 tests conducted in Russia. Not to speak, I shouldn't be speaking about it so haltingly and slow and really building it up. Don't be afraid. This is not about that. It's not fear-mongering. Maybe my flippant, facetious attitude isn't coming through so well, which may be in itself a character flaw. So don't. The point is, Vladimir Putin ordered the very first nationwide nuclear attack exercise in the entire history of his country. So he's making these headlines and all that. Right? It's like a day apart. Basically drills to protect their country. Just in case. Just in case. So, hey, we got our just in case. I don't know if it's about the same thing. But that's what that was on Hassan's show. That alert that we all got. But that doesn't mean that Russia has more than 16,000 nuclear shelters. Huh. No way. Amazing. But yeah, so we got some tests going on. Like, it's more of a joke, too, because here I am laughing about Joel. Oh, you didn't get the alert. Looks like you're getting vaporized, buddy. Something that we can't control. That would, as I'm laughing, it's saying that to him, we both get vaporized. That's the joke. That's the, you know what I'm saying? What's up, everybody? I'm seeing you in the chat. What's up, cuz? Mr. Mad, C-Sal, Ivana, Space. Haven't seen you in a while, Anonymous. Ain't no nanos in me hand. Right on, Court Green. Nice. So that's your little alert. No, get ready not to freak out. All right, y'all. So just chill. Anyways, shall we get into some of this stuff here? What are you saying over there on Rumble? What's up? Interesting stuff. Eternity, huh? Eternity. You're talking a lot about eternity there, Male Ken. What do you got to say about it? What does that mean to you? But we'll get back to all that. Amazing. I think I have a call, though. I'm tempted to go right into this before jumping right into some of the rest of the stuff we got here. I got Rachel, Los Angeles. You're on the air, Rachel. Thank you for your call.
What's going on, Nick?
All is well. Rachel, thank you. I believe this is this is our caller. For those who don't remember, the one who met the man himself. Not to put so much fanfare. Not to leave you speechless with so much fanfare, but welcome. Thank you, Rachel.
That's the past. It doesn't exist.
Right.
So I just, I don't know. I just clicked into your show and I wanted to weigh in about this test alert.
Mm-hmm. So you got yours too.
Yeah, I did get mine, but
you said you didn't?
I did.
Oh, so you're surviving. Nice. You'll be with us, the survivors.
Yeah, I'm a survivor. Really the only thing I did was I went to, FEMA posted a video of the woman that is the face of FEMA named Deanne Criswell, and she posted a video explaining, and it's on Twitter, X, and wherever. I'm sure you can find it anywhere on the internet. And so I just listened to it. It's like 1 minute and 45 seconds long. And she tells you kind of everything you need to know. She tells you that it's a wireless alert. She tells you that the phone companies, it's kind of out of their hands. This is the phone company provider, which tells you the corporation. And
gotcha.
Just those two things alone, it just poses a lot of other questions. But you have to ask yourself another question, which is, we have we all remember the Obamaphones, which was handed out to the black community as a free gift, but really what it was is data collection. And so you have to
Obamaphone thing was?
Yeah.
Was a way of collecting data?
100%. Everything is about data. Every single thing in your life is about data.
Very lucrative.
So,
I hear.
Anyway, you got to consider that, we have 15 million illegal immigrants, and let's just say half of them have Obamaphone 2.0. And then when you go to her Wikipedia, which I don't really stand by Wikipedia as the Bible, but it is the reference where it does give you places where people worked and administrations they've worked under. And, it does give you their resume, at least a starting point of things to look at. But even if you just look at that, it tells you she used to work under the Obama administration, and she went to work for the New York City Emergency Management, and now she's back and got sworn in by Mayorkas. And, it's just, I don't know what this is. I don't believe in the word conspiracy at all. But just looking at those facts, like anything that's wireless is hackable because it's connected to the internet. And we are in a very important year. I'm really trying to watch my language for the sake of your channel.
Yes. So
I don't know.
Do you think it's more than an emergency alert system?
I think there were about 10 million counts gained today. Is what I think.
Oh, you said accounts gained.
Well, no, not accounts. I'm trying to use I don't know. I'm trying to speak in like
names added to the rolls.
Well, yeah. I mean, just
See, the thing for me, it's like I don't see it anything beyond an old emergency alert system. There may be this or that happening, but with this system itself, like it's just this old emergency alert. If anything, we don't have the 16,000 shelters that Russia has. They're doing like nationwide testing here. So if anything, we just have this outdated emergency alert system. And when you see that nations are mobilizing and all that, I'm really not trying to put out fear or anything, but that's really what I see it as. Really what I see it about.
I don't think there's any fear related to it at all. And I just think you have to consider like what is FEMA. Looking into FEMA, like what have they been up to for the last 10 years? Why do we need an updated emergency alert system? How did I make it through the 70s and 80s without being alerted? Because it feels like conflict, because, world global politics have become a little bit unstable. Putin basically saying, hey, UK, you move those troops to where you're thinking of moving them, we're bombing. We're doing World War III nukes. Like, that's where we are. So that, I don't like talking about that in the way that in that to put out fear, but really you shouldn't be fearful. But that's what I think it's for. I don't feel afraid of it at all. I don't feel afraid. I wasn't afraid of it at all. I wasn't like gonna wrap myself in tinfoil and like. What's interesting is that I did turn off the alerts on my phone, like the Amber Alert and the "You're gonna die" alert, and there's 30 sharks coming after you alert. Just to see what was going to happen, and it went off anyway because what I'm telling you is like you have to look at the information that's given to you. They tell you exactly what's in front of your face. You bought and purchased a device that is your property, but it's run and controlled by a corporation, which is the phone company, which you're just paying them for a service so that you can use your device. And they have full control over your phone. Meanwhile, the government's giving all of the phones that are controlled by a phone company that the government's actually in control of, and they're giving it away to illegal people that are running rampant in this country. And you just have to ask yourself, why now? That's all I'm saying. I don't think there's really even worth deciding. I'm just saying, like, to me, they've already told me what they've done. The woman that's running FEMA came out and posted a 1 and 45-second video telling you exactly what she's doing, using words like, we can save lives. It's like, we need the Patriot Act to save lives.
Criswell?
We need this to save lives. Everything is about saving lives, which is really just like a red flag that, in my opinion, says this has nothing to do with that. Why do I need somebody to save my life?
Honestly, just in my opinion, it's just like they haven't updated this kind of. They have never considered this. Okay, America hasn't considered this. Russia has.
Well, back
is what I'm trying to say here. 16,000 bunkers. They tried to do that here years ago, but it was a huge like hippie movement, liberal movement against it. Like, no, you can't build bunkers. That's crazy. And so conflict starts rising in that area. Putin's threatening nuclear war, and America's like, well, they're training their people for nuclear. I mean, what do we got? All right, everybody's around the table. What do we got? What do we got to train our people just in case? Right, fellas? Oh, well, we got the alert test system from 50 years ago. All right, run it.
Right. I mean, yeah, except like we don't. I mean, okay, I'll just take that on as like fine. But at least in Los Angeles proper, like we don't like, when do we start that development and infrastructure? And where's the bill? It's, like, there's money and things that go along with that. So doing a test doesn't give me anything other than, cool, I'm about to die by nuclear acid.
Right.
Like,
And this stuff goes wrong. Remember, didn't they have one in like Maui or something like that in 2018?
Yeah,
they had this,
said
like,
you're all going to die.
It was like incoming ballistic missile. This is not a test.
Right.
It's like, all right, well, what do you do? Nothing.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying.
I think I found that Deanne Criswell video, so thank you. I might have to
it's
play
just,
this.
I added soaking music to it and sent it to my sister because it's really interesting when you add the soaking music to it. There is so much drama, and it makes it, and everything. I actually feel like it was a missed opportunity on their part that they didn't add the soaking music. But
Shout
I just
out to
think,
the
like,
soaking music. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, anything you're hearing, I think it's like they tell you what they're doing to your face. They don't have to sensationalize. They don't have to have 900 reporters. The people tell you exactly what's going on, and she's telling you this is a wireless system that is operated and controlled by the phone companies. And right there, you should ask yourself a lot of questions. And the next question you should ask is, what has FEMA been up to for the last 10 years, and why right now? And you could say, I also don't think it's even really anything to figure out. I think it's just in terms of taking things in and looking at them without, like standing on the moon and looking down at everything, knowing like there isn't really anything to be afraid of because, like I said, even if they were like, this is a test and tomorrow they send an alert that there's a nuclear missile, like, what is LA going to do about it?
Yeah. Thank you for that. So true. No need of, like, that kind of fear is...
it's just more like I guess what I'm speaking to is discernment.
Yes.
And if you can take in information and look at certain words that people are saying, it's actually, it's a lot of like color. It's a lot of scribble around like 6 different words, and they tell you exactly what they're doing. And in my personal opinion, which I don't have evidence for because I don't work for any of the internal workings of anything, but I do know that there's millions of people that were just given a phone from the government, and in the midst of all this.
Oh no, yeah, we're surveilled.
I'm just saying, if you need to grab a lot of numbers for something, this was a great way to do it. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that we're being surveilled.
As vague as I can.
That we're being surveilled.
No, we're already being surveilled. There's no
these
getting
people
away
are untrackable, untraceable. That these people that we have no clue. That's just a huge lie. We have full. They say they call them undocumented. I like how Hake says they're very documented. In fact,
all I'm saying is if you need numbers to optically create another number in another category, today was the perfect way to do that. It's the internet. And they just pinged everybody's phone that has a phone. And if you don't think that the government phone...
I wish I could, like, connect with you right now. I know you're trying to, like, protect my channel, and I wish I could just be like, yo, Rachel, wink, right on. But that last part about the levels are... over my head, sorry.
I'm talking about taking numbers,
but some chat people
and
probably
putting
understood.
them somewhere so they matter.
I think I'm following. I'm being kind of slow today for some reason, but I think I'm following. I bet you the chat got it though.
I'm just saying.
Base. People call you base, so
right, whatever. I mean, I don't. Yeah, at this point, I'm so. I don't even know. I can see through, not just on a spiritual level, but I can just see, which doesn't take a lot. I think anybody's like capable if you really pay attention. And if you remember like back in, or maybe you don't, or I don't know, but like back, I think it was in 2020, 2021 at the flip over this administration, Mike Pompeo was making a big deal about Voice of America and sending alerts and like using that as, a way to reach everybody, which also, there's just more questions to ask there. Like all of these broadcasting systems just require questions, internal questions where, like,
well,
who is this person and why does this matter and why do
Gotcha.
we need this and da-da-da-da-da. Like,
well, no,
you know, somehow the world has survived this many thousands of years with people and functioning societies, and it's incredible that we can't even, you know, brush our
yeah, and if
teeth
we're going to have
without
a
having an alert.
nationwide protection system, let's do a real one, huh? Well, thank you, Rachel. Appreciate your call. Is there
All
the
right.
last thing you want to say before we move the wheels here?
Rock and roll, man. That's
Thank
all.
you. Call me again.
Okay, bye.
Right on. Okay, we'll get to more calls. I see you coming in. 888-775-3773. Yeah, alert systems. Okay. Amazing. What shall we do? Okay, so I got a little lost here. A little lost. Should I do this or should I do this? What's up, being enlightened till I rise? I see you over there on Rumble. Thank you. Lily Pooh, spoiler alert. Much appreciated. What's up, Deconstruct? That's a new name over there on Rumble. Very cool. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. Let me make sure I have not missed anybody here. Deanne Criswell, Administrator FEMA. Video from our caller, which spoiler alert seemed to have found, I believe. Maybe this will bring some clarity, and then we'll jump. Then we'll move on. Because I want to get into the speaker a little bit and some random stuff.
Hi, I'm Deanne Criswell.
Wow, Deanne Criswell. This Mama FEMA. I've heard weird things about FEMA. Some conspiracies, but I don't know.
Hi,
I'm not up.
I'm Deanne Criswell, Administrator of the Federal Emergency Management Agency. On October 4th, a test alert message will be sent to cell phones, televisions, and radios across the country at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Time. This is a part of our nationwide test of the wireless emergency alerts and the Emergency Alert System, also known as WEA. We recognize that in disasters, seconds count. Getting alerts out promptly to our communities saves lives. That's why FEMA is working with the Federal Communications Commission and your local public safety authorities on this test. We want to make sure that when it counts, we can keep you informed. Wireless providers that participate in WEA are required to deliver this test message, which will be accompanied by a unique tone and vibration. The test message will read, "This is a test of the National Wireless." The message will also display in Spanish for phones.
Oh, it also
configured to that
displayed in
language.
Spanish. Oh, that's nice.
TV and radio broadcasters
We don't want them
are required to deliver these test messages with a similar tone
vaporized.
to the ones they use in their monthly tests. So please, and EAS
Okay.
alerts on your televisions.
I mean, honestly, I don't see it as any more than that. It's just an alert system, and in context to other global alert testings of certain alert systems of their nations, it kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense. Not to be scary here. Nothing to be afraid of in that way. That's not productive and a good way of living. But it just makes sense to me. If anything, this is don't turn off your phones. It's all we got. This system. We don't have. Maybe do a better job. Anyways, shall I do? Okay, so let's just get into this, okay? I'm just going to get into this. I'll get to calls. Thank you for holding. Much appreciated. 888-775-3773. You know about the speaker, okay? It's already been talked about. As the chair is empty, speaker vacated, Kevin out, shortest term, 18th since 1876, reports Revolver. And I've been following this somewhat. And we're left here, well, before just a little bit of a recap, I guess. You know that there's been a fight in Congress, in the House which Republicans hold. Okay. Ongoing fight. I mean, what can I tell you? Look, they're trying to fund the government, okay? I feel like I've told you this a few times already. Do you remember when McCarthy was being picked to be Speaker of the House, there was a condition. There was a deal. A deal made that you'll operate. You will work and do what you said you would do. Border. Different things, okay? The border, different things. Different things the Republicans want. And we'll reserve the right to be able to call for a vote anytime we want. Any one of us Republicans, you're leading us, you, McCarthy, in this contentious time where it's hard to unite. You'll lead us, they decided. But we will reserve the right that any one of us can raise our hands and say, no, let's put it to a vote, get this guy out. And they did. They did that. They went with it. Matt Gaetz, they did it. They did it. And there's a bit of a crossroads. I'm seeing conservatives say, well, McCarthy had made promises for the border, for the January 6th footage and these things, and we never let him do his job, at least try. And wasting time and money because now they got to pick a speaker. Now you got to pick a speaker. 45 days to pick a speaker because if you know, it was all about the shutdown until you get the bills through, until everybody gets their money. And they're like, McCarthy, as you already know, with these Republican holdouts who weren't going to let the process move forward until they got what they wanted about the border, et cetera. McCarthy made a deal with the Democrats, said, okay, no, we're going to do this 45 stopgap thing, and then we'll figure it out. It's already not looking good, right? That's already kind of not a good look. Betrayal. And so people are fed up. This is a last straw for some. This is the last straw for Gaetz. For enough people, apparently, to actually oust him. The chair, speaker, the seat is empty, and he will not run again. He will not run again. You know this already. I told you yesterday. And not to recap it all, but I wanted to say this. Let's see what else. What else did I want to say about this? McCarthy, a reminder. McCarthy. Because people are saying, well, give him a chance. Give him a chance. We got to let the process work, and you guys just want to fight. For those that are saying that, McCarthy is the guy that wanted to impeach Trump. He's the guy that wanted to impeach Trump. That's this guy, establishment guy. And there's already been, I learned recently, I didn't know this, because I was wondering too, I'm like, okay, I reported to the people, I reported to the audience a little bit about the process, how it works, civics, the news, McCarthy, the speakership. But now we're here at this crossroads. Well, Nick, what is the right move here? Is this good or bad that the speaker's out? I think so. I think it's okay. I'm not this type of person to just bandwagon. I try and be a little bit measured, but especially when I don't know. But I recently learned about just how many twists and turns this whole saga has taken. I just recently learned at just how bad it really is. Like, I don't think maybe people are ignorant like me, but just how bad the saga is, the back and forth, the promises made, promises broken. There was already in just recent memory, not my memory. I just recently learned. I was reminded. Here's your ignorant anchor baby podcast host you're getting all your information from. Fantastic. This is great for credibility. I'm playing around. McCarthy. Okay, what I'm talking about is McCarthy, just in recent memory. A different shutdown. It was about the debt ceiling. And nothing happened out there. Basically, McCarthy, leader of the Republicans, in this 11th hour moment where it's like, we have all this leverage, all this power to really make things happen. You know how bad things are. I've been showing you on this show. And McCarthy's like, we'll work. No, Democrats, we'll give them what they want. We'll down the road. We'll get them next time. We'll get them next time, folks. So am I being too flippant, accelerationist about the decadence and the life I enjoy? Because what looms is tanking of the GDP, jobs lost. Like, it's not just like nothing happens with the shutdown. Am I too flippant here? But it seems like time is up. That was just one shutdown, but you gotta understand the story it goes all the way to 2010. All the way to 2010 with majority after majority. Anyways, I don't need to recap that. Just something I learned about. But about this, though, about the whole process, just a little side note here. The process is dead. Am I wrong? It feels like it's dead. Like the meaning of everything is dead or dying. Like the English language itself, the way I butcher it. But okay, the meaning of the process of the rule of law, where it starts and ends, it's like totally perverted. Just like cops. Just cops, for example. They literally hamstring them. Then they ban like chokeholds, stuff like that. Everything to protect criminals. Perverted law. It almost feels like, I'm also kind of referring to the branches of government and how that's kind of been perverted, right? Like even, for example, the presidency. From what I understand, it wasn't always the way it is now. This high case where we put all of our eggs into this presidential election. It's just supposed to be one branch of government. The way these appropriations bills are done. It's supposed to be, a process. But no, it's these omnibus bills where you got people like Mike. I showed you that video, right? Mike Boast years ago yelling about, how can I vote for my people? Look at these stacks of papers you guys put on my desk. The Supreme Court, I heard someone say how that branch isn't supposed to legislate, it's supposed to interpret the law, but yet the branches are messed up, perverted. Do you see what I'm saying here? The process, it feels like we need someone to come in and take over, a president, a king, to take over, build it back up. Tremendously, expertly, and quickly. Come in, build it back up. Anyways. Putting their eggs in one basket. Anyways. The meaning of the process. What was I going to say about that? Shall I just take a call? Art, Ohio, you're on the air, sir. Appreciate your call.
Hey, what's up, Nick?
All is well, sir.
I want to thank you for having me once again on your show, and shout out to Hake. And this is what I meant to say on Hake's show. He can bring this up. If I don't call in tomorrow, he can bring this up. But the reason why I like Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan, and it's like a few other of them that was in this politicians or whatnot, with Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan, them other few people that I can't remember their names, them the two standouts I can remember. Mm-hmm. They was the ones who was standing up for Trump for the fake impeachment stuff. They wasn't running and hiding their tails, and they was the ones who I think, if I'm mistaken, who was standing up against the lockdowns and who was questioning the vaccine nonsense. Mm-hmm. And them are just things that you can't
McCarthy,
teach.
you saying?
Nah, Jim Jordan and Gates.
Gotcha. Yes.
They got that Trump pass with me or whatnot, like to where like Trump, he gonna be 90% wrong. I can deal with his 10% of him maybe doing or saying something that ain't right or whatnot. And that's how I feel about Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz or whatnot. They always was they basically let me know they ain't the crowd type. Just because everybody in the crowd are going with the left, and just because they ain't yes men. that's with Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan. So they always gonna be cool with Art, and whatever they pretty much say, Art is gonna understand and dang near agree with, because they, first of all, they know how to speak and articulate themselves to where you can understand it, whether it's dumbed down or they basically using them big liberal words or whatnot, or just big educated words. It ain't even liberal words, it's just big educated words, because they definitely ain't liberals. But that's the main thing that I got to say about Jim Jordan.
It seems like Matt Gaetz has been like kind of killing it. He seems like like he seems every now and again I'll hear about Matt Gaetz, and it'll be just on the edge of, oh man, this guy is not our guy. He's not based. He's cringe, and then he brings it back.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. Matt Gaetz, man, he pretty much, I like him, man. He ain't no dummy or whatnot.
It's kind of impressive considering the track record here that we're talking about here, what we've been dealing with.
And he ain't a career politician or whatnot. He's not a career politician, just like I don't think Jim Jordan is neither or whatnot. They just now basically got into, allegedly, if I'm not mistaken, I ain't looking at no computer, don't get it, but I thought they ain't career politicians or whatnot. But my understanding, just like one of the callers was saying on Hayes Show, Matt Gaetz he's almost like Trump. He don't need to basically kiss no butt, because I guess his family was already rich.
Oh, yeah?
So most of these politicians is in there, they have to go for the lobbyists, the bankers and stuff. They got to kiss butt to get money or whatnot. And what the problem is, where these corporations come in, the corporations are typically liberals. They push this LGBTQ, the boys can be girls and the girls can be boys. So if you don't push the big bankers and these corporations' agenda, they won't give you funding. So that's where...
So only rich people to be in office. It says Hank in the chat.
Well, it's a give and take, because you got to remember that the bankers fund. I mean, just like Trump or whatnot, you got to think he probably got some type of loans from the bank. I ain't for sure. I ain't saying that we gonna live and die on that hill. I ain't for sure, but I'm speculating that he might have got loans from them, so they can potentially be in bed with the big bankers. But the problem is when you in bed with the big bankers or whatnot and the corporations, it's both of them. You got to remember that the big bankers is what funded the Union to go against the Confederates or whatnot. Goes back into history, and that's another reason why you see a lot of these conservatives scared to stand up and speak up or whatnot, because basically the conservatives are the Confederate, and they were beaten by the Union, which was the bankers. The Union was the bankers, the big bankers, corporation.
Understood.
So this all goes back into American history, but yeah.
Fascinating, man. Thank you.
Yeah, Matt Gaetz, pretty much, I guess his family is rich or whatnot. You just got to find somebody with some backbone or whatnot, and don't mind the criticism or feeling like they being persecuted. Ain't gonna tuck their tail just because a person don't agree with their opinion. Just like a lot of people in my family or people I might have been at the bar with when I was watching Trump running for, they was probably like, well, he crazy or whatnot. He like Trump. No, he a racist, this and this and this. But I wonder how they feel right now, because the person who they rolling with right now ain't doing nothing good for them, and they can keep thinking he's doing something good. But we gonna see how they be thinking the next couple years from now or whatnot. When they be trying to pass, they gonna be all passing the blame around.
I want to see. The recent video was going viral again of Snoop Dogg. What does he really think today? I wouldn't be surprised if he's still a Trump hater. But what you're saying earlier, no, go ahead and comment on that.
Huh?
Go ahead and comment on that if you like.
No, he more than likely is, because that's how the liberals and them entertainers are. They go with the crowd and the corporation.
And they're insulated from daily life too, so it's easier. They won't experience what you're talking about, the pain that might wake you up.
No.
Yeah, insulated from it anyways. Right. So you were talking about, being influenced by lobbies, et cetera, Matt Gaetz and all that. It's like just a little comment on that too. It's like, you can't forget too that the spirit of good exists. It simply exists, right? So should someone be operating in that and speaking things to that, wouldn't it be that the spirit of good will help you? Would aid you in such an endeavor? Should it really be true and from him, from the spirit of good, God? It's like you can't. No amount of lobby, lack of money, richness, poverty would stop that.
I think the money corrupts, because the money, people want the worldly things. They so attached to, oh, I got a boat, a dirt bike, and this nice big house, and I can't lose it. So they attach to materialistic things, and it's kind of hard to stay grounded when you are attached and have money like that. And Trump seems to be able to do that. He's able to mesh with the lower class, the poor, and the rich people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you got people like Nancy Pelosi, she gonna smile in your face and be talking about you behind your back and trying to hold you down by passing or making bills that ain't beneficial to you or your constituents, which is the American people.
Fascinating. Thank you, sir.
But with that last caller, what she was talking about with the alerts things and whatnot, the Amber Alert don't have nothing to do with trying to keep track of people and whatnot. That's what the cell phone towers is for. They being tracked without the Amber Alerts. The only reason why they did that Amber Alert is because Russia is doing alerts over there. They basically testing their system to see if they can send, when they send out the alerts for this, they was testing for nuclear alerts. So that's what they were sending to they people over there in Russia. Just
Right,
I think either today.
Yeah, they won't call it that over here. We don't want any panic, but you know.
Yeah. And I'm
which is a little
just
silly. They
that,
call it that over there. They're not playing games. They're like, hey, by the way, you know what I mean? They're not. Seems like a different mentality here. Kind of concerning, but hey. Not really concerning, but it should tell you. I think it should tell you a little bit about the leaders.
Hank said it right. Hit the deck alert. That's what Russia's over there. That's what they doing their alerts for right now. And see, I think I said it on his show or your show. They got a train station that they making or refortifying to be nuclear protected. So that's where they citizens are going to be going. But my thing is America is sending out all these alerts or whatnot. Who are they sending them out for? Because they ain't got no bunkers over here for me and you. So who are they really sending these alerts out for? The second thing is, just like I was saying yesterday, they can talk you into some stuff. FEMA can say, oh, we want to send all these alerts out. What are you going to do, send them out after everybody's missing their arms and their limbs? They want to help you after you don't blew half your head off.
I won't be so foolhardy. I will be sure to hear my alerts. You can be an uninformed individual and get vaporized. I will pay attention.
Yeah.
Because the revolution will be alerted and televised. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
right on, Art. Well, thanks. Last thing you want to say before we move the wheels?
Well, no, just like you said, that's how I'm looking at it, too. It definitely will be televised or whatnot. If you ask me, or whatnot, and it was something else I want to say, but I kind of think I almost lost my point or whatnot. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and let you go ahead, and I'll catch you later.
Call me again, Art. Always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Nice. Our Snoop Dogg has a cereal, Snoop Loopz. What's up with these rappers coming out with snacks, cereals and stuff? Snoop Loopz.
When I was a kid.
What's wrong with what? Snoop Loopz.
I used to love cereal. And guess what? I'm still a big kid, and I love cereal. But now, I got some cereal that you can fall in love with. Snoop Loopz. Brought to you by yours truly, Master P, and the Bronx. The food.
I suddenly completely relate to this man.
Selection. Hello, breakfast food days.
He's talking to me. I'm the target demographic here. But I don't know. I'm a little unimpressed. Is this like a portmanteau? Not portmanteau. That's the wrong word here. A Frankenstein of a marshmallow cereal, like a Lucky Charms, and a fruity, loopy cereal, like a Fruit Loops? Is that what this is? I don't know, man. I believe this has been tried. I don't think it went too well. I'm trying to remember it right now. Oh, marshmallow. It was a cereal. Anyways. Like someone mentioned Snoop. Oh, I mentioned Snoop Dogg. That's why. I'm going to play you another silly video. Or whatever. I mentioned the Hawaii false missile alert from back then ago. And I'm going to play an ad. Again, I'll figure this out. I should do my research. Maybe I'll pay attention to the chat and you'll tell me how you experience the following minute or so. I'm going to press the ad button. I'm going to play this video. For those that see the ad. I believe some will see it and some will not. For those who don't, they'll see this video. And I'll pay attention to the chat. You'll tell me how you'll experience these next few minutes, okay? Starting now.
From his job as a Hawaii state warning officer, the man responsible for sending the state into 38 minutes of chaos is speaking out. Facing death threats, he's requested anonymity.
I was 100% sure that it was the right decision, that it was real. I was convinced that it was real.
So just to be extremely clear, you are the person who triggered the false alert?
Yes. Unfortunately, I heard this is not a drill, and I didn't hear exercise at all. I'm really not to blame in this. It was a system failure, and I did what I was trained to do.
You believed you were following protocol?
Yeah, I did what I was trained to do as far as listen to the message and, as far as the time element that we were, constraints we were under.
When you play back that morning in your head, what would you have done differently?
Well, I can't say that I would do anything differently based on what I saw and heard. I feel very badly for what's happened, the panic and the stress people felt and all the hurt and pain.
Imagine that you get an alert in your phone that says incoming ballistic missile. This is not a drill. What do? You live in an island somewhere in Hawaii. Incredible stuff. That man, don't feel bad. He said it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. Yeah, this was like in 2018, no? Anyways, it looks like some of you did see ads. Very cool. Thank you for the report there, chat. And the rest of you saw this video. Very cool. I'll figure out a snazzier way to do these breaks. But the information you've given me helps. Thank you for that. Fascinating. You want to see another fascinating video? Check this out. What in the hay? Hold on. Hold up. 1 second. What in the hay is going on here?
Un circo di colori che arriva dritto ai cuori, è un tuffo dentro il mare dei tuoi sogni. Guarda, c'è un mondo da scoprire che ti saprà stupire, acrobati nel
You better get used to it, Pope.
cielo sopra i sogni, faune giocolieri sbuffi d'acqua intorno a te.
Oh, I hope this isn't copyright music. You just saw the Pope. This is we're at the Vatican. Pope Francis kicks off meeting on church's future with an LGBTQ bombshell. Get used to it, Pope. Pope Francis, right? This is Pope Francis. You just gotta love his face. You gotta love this moment here. Incredible moment here with the Pope Francis, who seems to commonly reveal his true feelings. At least he did once in recent memory. that's become a meme on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, getting mad about his wrinkled silks. The Pope is ticked. The Pope looks ticked here, too. Hold on. You're about to see him. I don't know if I want to play that music again. Maybe a little bit here. What the? What in the? This is the. Okay, there's the Pope having a little fun, having himself a little bit of a gay old time. That means happy. I mean happy, but it could be also a little gay, because it's an LGBTQ thing. Catholic Church's future on the table. Pope Francis kicks off 2023 with an LGBTQ bombshell? Whatever. Big meeting Wednesday on the future of the Catholic Church, where contentious topics will be discussed. Amazing. How divorce and remarriage, discuss hot button issues, including whether priests should be allowed to get married. Will priests finally get allowed to be married? We're talking about old tradition here. Priests being allowed to be married. Hundreds of years, will that be broken? If divorced and remarried Catholics should receive communion. I remember not receiving communion when I went to church. I went to Catholic school, okay? I grew up Christian, in a Christian. I rejected it very young. The hooping and hollering type of Hispanic Christians. And I went to a Catholic school because those are the nice schools in Canada, even though they're kind of public. And all the brown people send them there too because they know that as well. And they don't have to be Catholic. All my classmates were Sikhs, Punjabs, Muslims. Anyways, big tangent. The point is, where was I? Receiving communion. I'm still sour. I'm still sour about not receiving communion. We went to a Asian church. We had it was like this Korean Catholic church. And I don't know, everybody got up and they got in line and they went up and they put their hands up and everybody got the bread. They got the little bread, the communion. And they went like that. They got the bread and I put my hands out just following along. And the Father denied me. He must have seen in me that I had not followed I don't know what you call them. What do you call them? Sacraments? Because I got confirmed. I got baptized. I think my family just said I got baptized. I'm pretty sure I got baptized as a baby. Like for real, like not a lie. Communion, my first communion. Oh, I might have not done first communion. One of them I didn't do, and so this father, who I don't know how he saw it all over my face. He saw it all over my face. This glizza hasn't even done his first communion. It's written all over his face. Get him out of here. I'm still kind of sour about it. Anyways, this is the new Catholic Church. Welcome. Hot button issues. I mean, can we have a discussion first? Aren't we here to discuss it first? Isn't the whole point of discussion first? Can we discuss it first before you do all this? Isn't this the whole point? To discuss if you're allowed to act like this, right? There he is. Look at his face. Look at his face. I'm sure for those viewers who are listening, we're watching footage. It's kind of B-roll footage at this point with no... Look at the Pope's face. The Pope is ticked. He can't be okay with this. But what, Bill? What do you have to say about this?
Looks like something from a cartoon.
This looks like something from a cartoon. I agree with you, Bill. This looks like this is Yo Gabba, an episode of Sesame Street. Yo Gabba Gabba. But it's a little bit more clothed than some of these gay things, right, Bill? I mean, the females showing a lot of skin. I mean, this is truly ridiculous. It's truly, truly ridiculous. Bill concurs. Anyways, I mean, isn't the point of they're supposed to have the discussion first, right? Anyways, we're being incredulous conservatives here for a moment. But where was I? Hot button issues. Whether women should be allowed to become deacons and how the church will handle matters around the LGBTQ community. Well, Vatican, I wish you well. I don't know, y'all. I mean, are these the hot button issues? They're not really. Maybe the marriage stuff here. Kind of interesting. If divorced and remarried Catholics should receive communion, never mind. They turned an interesting topic into a useless, meaningless one. wait, should you go up and get the little wafer that we bought off of Alibaba Express? Like, what the heck does that mean? Should divorced and remarried Catholics who are in miserable marriages anyways and who destroyed their children anyways, let's discuss if they should receive the wafer. Am I like flipping? Am I being dumb here? Like we got evil hearts out here, Vatican. Hearts are evil out here, Vatican. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Huh? Should these miserable Catholics receive the wafer when they go to church? I don't know. Anyways. To them, it's not a wafer, says Charlie Church. So what? It's supposed to be that literal body of Christ? I wonder what Jesus thinks about people eating wafers, thinking, you know what I mean? Like, I understand the symbols and enjoying your church and all that, but the symbols are supposed to represent something real, right? Like, we have the symbols. Enjoy them. Go enjoy, like baptism. I learned this from Jesse, but it makes so much sense. The symbols are supposed to represent something real, so have your symbols. Go eat your wafer. But it's supposed to represent like a literal change of your life. The washing of sin. You got baptized. You're like a new, you know what I mean? So, I understand what you're saying, Charlie Church. To them, yes, to them. But thank you for that chat in the chat, Charlie Church, because it allowed me to go off and continue my show a little bit. You can chat away in the live chat. It helps. Hey, drop that engagement. Drop a like. Drop a subscribe. You can't always help monetarily, but that is such a beautiful way. You just simply watching the show. Drop a like. Drop a like. Leave a comment. Chat away. Helps it out. Over there on Rumble, do the same thing. Thank you. But anyways, X equals Christ. It's not Xing out Christ. Wait, what? It's literally the body of blood of Christ. Amazing. Where was I? I was showing you the Vatican. Speaking of all the things of the old world. Speaking of old things of the old world. I want to show you a little bit about this man. A couple of men. A man in the past. A man who's out of his lineage came other men. And maybe even way later came this man. Maybe. Just maybe this man as well. Way later, somewhere in the tapestry of lineage, produced this man. And all these men are connected. Maybe. A little stretch on the last one, maybe. Talking about a situation that happened in New Mexico. And a situation that's been ongoing, in fact, for quite a while. It's in fact since the 90s. I'm talking about a shooting that happened in New Mexico with a 23-year-old Ryan Martinez, who's been charged in connection with this with two charges in connection with this shooting at a protest in Española, New Mexico, over this ongoing feud over this statue of a conquistador, they call him. They're calling him conquistador. They call him Puerto Rico. Juan de Oñate. Juan de Oñate. Statue of Juan de Oñate. Spanish conquistador. And it's been an ongoing fight, in fact, since the 90s, about this statue that I'm talking about. And so this man is facing these two charges for shooting an individual at a protest where officials plan to place a statue of Juan de Oñate in Española. Okay? Protesters arrived protesting the placement of this statue. Counter-protesters, of which this man is claimed to be part of, arrived. He had, I don't know about affiliation, but was with them somehow. Somewhere in this event, there was a scuffle, and a group of people tried to keep Ryan Martinez, 23-year-old, accused of these crimes, out of a certain area. We'll watch the video here shortly. These protesters were attempting to keep, this is where the video begins, attempting to keep Ryan Martinez out from a certain area. He was trying to get in. Ryan Martinez, who's wearing a Make America Great Again hat and in a green sweatshirt, attempts to go beyond the crowd that's trying to block him. The protesters trying to kick him out of the area. He attempted to re-enter the circle. They attempted to hold him back, and it was at that moment that, as he tried to jump over this wall and he was chased by this group, that he grabbed a gun out of his waistband and fired a shot. Martinez is now facing charges of attempted first-degree murder and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And this is all over this statue of Juan de Oñate.
Well, controversy surrounding a statue of conquistador Don Juan de Oñate has led to yet another shooting in New Mexico.
As you heard the man say, another shooting, and let me show you what I'm watching. You heard it. I'm watching a news report. You heard him say another shooting. There was this same statue has brought was the center of a different shooting years ago.
Well, controversy surrounding a statue of conquistador Don Juan de Oñate has led to yet another shooting in New Mexico.
Let him go.
Now, this was the scene yesterday around noon outside of the Rio Arriba Sheriff's Office, where plans to reinstall a statue of Oñate earlier this week were scrapped amid fears of violence. Raymond Naranjo and Nathana Bird were at the protest when Naranjo captured this video just feet from the shooter. Now, the video shows a man later identified as 23-year-old Ryan Martinez getting into a fight with another protester before pulling a gun and firing a single shot, hitting a man in the abdomen.
He was trying to get back into the circle. He was trying to get back in, and they were trying to hold him from coming back in because there was children there. And then that's when the altercation took place.
Now, back in 2020, a similar incident happened here in Albuquerque with a person being shot at a protest outside the Albuquerque Museum, which had its own statue of Oñate. Martinez is now facing charges of attempted first-degree murder and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The victim, identified as 25-year-old Jacob Johns, was taken to UNMH for surgery. A GoFundMe has been set up to help pay for his recovery.
So that's the story here. Ryan Martinez shot this 25-year-old man. What do you guys think? Good shoot? Good shoot or not? What do we got here? Whoa, I disavow that shot, says Hake. Let him go. Wait, never mind. He didn't have to shoot. That was a bit wild, says Life Enjoyer. The view looks so cool, Nick. Oh, nice. Thank you, intro. I got to say, I don't think it's a good shoot. Prop third degree in reality says everything is fake. Interesting. Unjustly shot a man. Okay, what's Rumble saying? Okay. Yeah, you can email me at radio@jesseleepeterson.com. Producer@jesseleepeterson.com works as well. No problem. Looks like they effed around and found out. But you think it was a good shoot, Dennis 2020? You think this was a justified shoot? Let's watch it one more time.
Statue of yet another shooting in New Mexico.
Let him go.
See, he was free there.
Let him go.
So he was trying to re-enter this area where there's protesters and counter-protesters. They're trying to keep him away from children, claims one of the other people here that we heard. And they're saying, let him go. And he gets free.
Let him go.
Honestly, at this point, he's free to go. You know what I mean? He create some distance. He has quite a bit of time to draw that firearm, in my opinion.
Mexico.
Was his life really being threatened?
Now this.
I mean, I don't know. That's kind of an insane shoot there, in my opinion. I wouldn't call it a good shoot, and I know he's got the MAGA hat on and all that. And I like Hake in the chat saying, "Don't get caught up." I mean, this is just an example of that. Because that's and I'm gonna show you how this guy has been, like, he was investigated by the FBI before. So I'm gonna say this. Don't get caught up, MAGA people on our side. You don't get caught up. I think that's good advice. You know, the enemy wants you to get caught up, get into situations like this one so that they could use it against us, okay? That being said, I don't think this is just a regular MAGA supporter, because you watch any video of this situation on Twitter, on this video we just saw, you'll go into the comments and it's full of Trump people talking the way Trump people do. We disavow that. MAGA people in large part disavow this. And this is a known thing, but it's been years of the media trying to convince us otherwise. Trying to show us this or that situation, trying to convince us otherwise, that in general, MAGA people are the nonviolent type. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to show up to the Capitol, but we don't want any problems. You know what I mean? Like, that's just true. And it's been years of trying to convince us otherwise. We shouldn't fall for that. And although that's fine advice to tell other people in context to this situation to don't get caught up, I don't think this is a regular MAGA guy, because this guy's been like itching to shoot somebody for a while, from what I could tell. If you look at the reports that he's been investigated by FBI before, and has been basically Fed posting on Twitter for a while, talking about these people need bullets. You need to end hashtag 1776. We need bullets in these people's heads. Talking about this or that politician and all that. That's not really MAGA. Straight up. Hate, anger, it's not. We don't need to let them poison the movement. Okay? It's just not. So, and these Hispanics, I don't know, they turn white. They go like, they take the white nationalist joke way too far, or something like that. Something misplaced about that whole thing. And it's somewhere in the crossroads of identity, misplaced anger with the family, misplaced anger against Mexican identity, and either properly or improperly filling that role, and that whole mistake with identity. It's somewhere in the crossroads of that. It's very strange. Okay, but Juan de Oñate. Yeah, this has been a bit of an ongoing battle. As you heard, 2020 there was a shooting about it, but this has been going on since the 90s. This battle about this conquistador. I want to talk about this conquistador a little bit. Because, okay, that's the shooting. I told you, I said what I had to say about, you know, being caught up and all that. But what else? You know, they'll try and use this for all sorts of agendas, guns, anti-gun legislation, etc. Spoiler alert with the super chat, in fact, says, the governor is super anti-gun. Guy in a MAGA hat shoots someone. Shooter's built like a generic Antifa NPC. Very sus, says / sus, says spoiler alert. Thank you for that comment, spoiler alert. Quite much as suspect, like Rachel, too, was saying. Governor, those were invented on the backs of slaves. Oh, sorry, this is a spoiler alert super chat from the other day. Okay. I don't think either was justified, to be honest, says being a light until our eyes. Yeah. And we got to be much calmer. This is just like wrong. That emotion there to cause you to shoot the person. I don't think it was justified. Don't think it was a good shoot. Anyways, been going on since the 90s. Fight about Juan de Oñate and the conquistadors. Watch this.
Erupted as the statue of Juan de Oñate.
I'm glad we got rid of that, right?
Crowds erupted.
I heard, anybody know, didn't the Confederates have a yell? The Confederate. Didn't they have a savage yell as well? No need to get off the beaten path here, Nick. We got a show to run. Back to the video.
As the statue of Juan de Oñate came down.
It continues this idea of the Spanish conquistador myth that basically that continues as an oppression of native people. So just seeing that, it's a monument to hatred. It's a monument to white supremacy.
Dozens of New Mexicans stopping by throughout the day to see what's left of the sculpture called La Jornada, which was completed in 2004 to commemorate the Spanish-Mexican colonizer who sought to colonize the Yakima Pueblo. The artist behind it says he's sad to see it coming down.
Some people were for it and some people were against it. I'm very happy that I did it. Take great pride in that. And I wanted it to preserve the history.
Discussions around the statue
to preserve the history. Based preserver of history, sir. Thank you.
Late 90s. Community members against
So yeah, this has been going since the 90s. Check it out.
Preserve the history.
Discussions around the statue began in the late 90s. Community members against it telling KWT they knew that it was going to be a problem from the beginning.
I'm calling it the Oñate time bomb. We knew it was going to explode. We didn't know when.
Loser person, supposed custodian of your history and culture man with the white beard, white skin. How dare you?
Professor Enrique Lamadrid was on.
This is going to be a problem, folks. I don't know. I've been saying this for 20 years. It's going to be a problem. Naysayer. We'll figure it out.
The Oñate Commission Board.
He has nothing to do with this valley. And two, the guy was convicted by his own courts for his abuses.
Some believe removing the statue takes away from our.
This is why America's falling apart. And this is another reason. It's this guy.
Was convicted by his own courts for his abuses.
So if he was convicted of this or that, doesn't mean you can't have a statue about it. I'm about to tell you why you should have a statue about it. Hold on.
Some believe removing the statue takes away from our history.
That's the past, and we know it's the past. Let's keep it there. Let's leave it there, and let's be what we are now. Since then, we've evolved. I believe.
You don't even know what you are, lady. Listen to this. Listen to this. She's like, that's the past. Leave it there. Now let's be what we are now. And so I imagine she wants to take it down.
Keep it there. Let's leave it there, and let's be what we are now. Since then, we've evolved. I believe we've evolved.
While others say
no,
it's
you haven't. She's like, we evolved.
Reminder of the abuse and trauma.
This is okay. I'll stop the video right here. This is fantastic. This is beautiful. This is delicious. Thank you, lady and man here earlier. Watch this part again.
Of native people. Conquistador myth continues
conquistador myth.
Idea of the Spanish conquistador myth that basically that continues as an oppression of native people. So just seeing that, it's a monument to hatred. It's a monument to white supremacy.
So this guy with his this way of speaking, I wonder if he's already multiple generations here in America saying conquistador myth. You don't have to talk like that. Usually when people do that, it's like a misplaced identity where they like do this halfway like in between speech. It's usually, you know how you smile when you don't mean to smile, and that's like a false identity. People who are Mexican in this country do that. Yeah, you can say it any way you want. Just chill. Anyways, this guy is talking about this is a monument to white supremacy, a monument to this evil conquistadors or whatever. And that lady who's saying we've evolved since then. We should be what we are now, not what we are then. You don't know what you are, lady. You don't realize this monument, this statue you guys are railing against, it's a monument to you. It's a monument, it's a statue to you and your progeny, you idiot. She's like, we've evolved. We're different than that. She's like, this statue created you. You know what I mean? You're an offshoot of what was made once all that happened. Do you see what I'm saying here? To deny that and destroy that is to get rid of you. The conquistadors are a monument to you. The people that were once, those people are gone. The people that were influenced by the conquistadors that came and then created the people that came after. There's semblances and there's callbacks and veins of that culture, of course, absolutely. In fact, you can see it even in the peoples. In Mexico, you can see it. You can see it. There's the people who clearly descended from these people more, and people who descended from these people more. It's kind of evident. That being said, those people today are different today. This is a monument to you, you foolish person. You're showing your ignorance. Let's say you even had a distaste of the conquistadors. You won't deny its history, though. It created you. You wouldn't have any feeling about it. Hey, maybe you disagree. But to be like, this is a conquistador myth. What myth? This is your creation myth, idiot. Juan de Oñate.
We are learning more about the man arrested after yesterday. The editor of the...
And she's saying we've evolved. No, you devolved. You've devolved, okay? Juan de Oñate. These were like distinguished people, as criminal as they may be in some eyes or whatever court. Juan de Oñate married the granddaughter of Hernán Cortés. Hernán Cortés. The same Cortés who ended the Aztec. We're talking about the end of the Aztec Empire. Can we have a little respect? Can we get a little respect on the name? It was conquest, and they erased history. They're such erasers of history, these colonizers, which that itself is such a weird assumption when you realize that Juan de Oñate married the granddaughter of Hernán Cortés. The same Cortés who like married like an Aztec queen or whatever. Like they came and they slaughtered the Aztecs or whatever, and then they married the women. There's your Hey, you can't tell me that's not some form of preservation. It might be a little bloody. You might not like it, but to tell me they did not want to preserve it at all. There's some preservation. And I'm glad there's some things that weren't preserved, like child sacrifice. That famous Mesoamerican, pre-Columbian era, whatever you want to call it, historic buzzword. Anyways, that type of violence was special. There was a special kind of violence back then. You know what I mean? So be thankful for this statue of Juan de Oñate. Marrying into the lineage, the legendary lineage of Cortés. The New World aristocrats, a now long dead way of life culture, bringers of civilization, enders of child sacrifice. Yeah, I'm thankful. I'm going to stay thankful. How about that? Huh? Thank you, Juan de Oñate. Why do you think you speak as Spanish, people? That's funny, Hake. Oh, man. So silly people mad about things that are long gone, thinking they know who they are. They have no clue. Where they come from, they have no clue. And yeah, amazing stuff. What did I want to say about this, though? Thank you, Oñate. No more child sacrifice. Thank you to the New World aristocrats. And you might think it's it's bloody and it's such a barbaric time, and I don't know, you get a little uncomfortable with this whole topic. But I'm reminded of like this video of these young monkeys, and they're chilling out, and they're just like wide-eyed, new in the world. And it's this like nature video I was watching. And this snake was slithering around the monkeys. And the little cute monkeys, they're like, whatever, it's just, oh, look at this slithery thing. Okay, well, whatever. No need, I'm a monkey, that's a slithering thing, life is amazing. And then comes mama monkey or daddy monkey, I don't know, with a stick. And just violently bashes this snake to death. Like the face this monkey just adopted. It was just violence, just smash, 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 this yelling. Suddenly the peaceful day the little monkey child was having was ripped apart by the violent scene before him. But that day, that monkey learned a very powerful lesson. Because all the monkeys who witnessed that scene all picked up sticks and started practicing their beatdowns for the snake they would face in the future. All this to poetically describe, I think a recoiling reaction I think the public has on being tough on crime, on immigration, on certain things. That recoiling nature, not realizing the snake is about to eat someone. Maybe it's going to take a snake to eat someone, you know what I mean? But, and then we'll realize, oh, that's why we beat the crap out of the snake. Oh, yeah, I don't care about it being so violent anymore. Oh, yeah, that's why we beat the living daylights out of this snake. Yeah, I don't care so much about it looking so mean. Anyways. He learned his mama was evil. Yeah, that too. Life enjoyer. We still talk about animals? Yeah, we still are. People. We're such animals. We're such animals, bro. Conquistadors. Where were we? What the heck is this? That's cute. El Paso?
Our idea is to make the downtown a vibrant new place again. I came up with the idea of taking the history of El Paso and portraying it in dramatic sculpture. And I thought, what a great thing to excavate all that history out.
This is the artist of the sculptures.
The soil out of the dust of El Paso.
We just saw him in the last news report, I think.
El Paso, and turn it into bronze and create these great figures, and we're going to have it like a sculpture walk through history. And I presented the idea to the city council, and everybody I talked with seemed to think it was a wonderful idea too.
First thing that came to our minds was tourism and economy, because we're the 10th poorest city in America. So we need all the help we can get when it comes to tourist attractions and raising the economy and the level of living and so on.
They were going to choose 12 historical figures that represent us, this community. And most of them, not all of them, but most of them are basically, dead white men. It's Europeans, Spaniards, or Anglos that came here and defined what our history would be.
Although I had...
So wait, is he calling the Spanish white? This is a point of conflict for me, you know. So I guess European, right? What? Anyways, a little video on the sculptors. People still mad today. People still mad today about silly things, not realizing what they're really mad about. Because it doesn't quite make sense, as we demonstrated here. Spoiler alert, thank you for the super chat there. Says child sacrifice and cannibalism of the corpses. Wow. Yeah. So Lord Spike Protein, thank you for the super chat there with the little symbol guy, little pear guy. Thank you for the support, y'all. Much appreciated. Oh, man, we lost our ability to sacrifice people and eat their hearts, those darn conquistadors. Funny, being enlightened till I rise. If the conquistadors didn't show up, they would still be worshiping Satan. Thank you. I know. We gave you God. We gave you savages God. Jesus. It's just funny to think a man could give another man God. But it's also true in the fact that the Bible was spread around and all that. Anyways, good way to kill a joke, huh? That's disturbing to think about, but definitely a solid hypothesis. Thank you, being enlightened till I rise over there on Rumble. It keeps growing. It just keeps growing. You guys rock. Thank you. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. I believe that's all. Hit that thumbs up, like Noah's Arkansas says, the magnanimous, the OG in the chat. Welcome, Noah's Arkansas. Good to see you. I think that's all on the Conquistador. Huh? Is that it? Juan de Oñate, the untold story. New Mexico Conquistador statue shooter was investigated by FBI. Oh, yeah. I sort of mentioned this part. Prosecutor points to man's tweets from 2018 about threatening gun violence in motion to justify holding him in jail. The person who shot a protester last week, was under the investigation by the FBI for his posts on social media that suggested a violent attack on the country's central banking system. This guy was not happy with the banking system. Ryan Martinez, 23, made a series of threatening posts on Twitter that concerned the FBI enough to investigate. So they're watching, okay? You don't need to speculate. It's clear. You're tweeting on Twitter, you can garner the attention of the FBI. I mean, the American public being surveilled is a known thing. In a hearing on Monday, a judge ruled that Martinez will remain in jail while he waits for his case to proceed. He's basically being kept because the judge is determining he's too dangerous. 2 minutes, he apparently tweeted, "Time to end the Fed and put a bullet in some people's head once and for all." Hashtag 1776 is what this person tweeted that brought attention from the FBI. I mean, that's Fed posting, bro. Boy, does it get to me mad, he says here. Boy, does it get me mad. You control my effing money and you have a building in my capital. Change is coming real soon. Overcome anger, folks. What a message of our times. What a message that Jesse Lee Peterson has brought to the world, but it's a message that's true and pertinent to our times. And it's eternal. People were talking about eternity in my chat. How's this for eternal? It's because it's beyond Jesse, right? It's the message from God. Anyways, overcome anger, man. Holy. As mad as these people are about this old feud about the conquistadors and how silly that is, you got to see that you're just as silly to go out there and shoot someone. Like, it doesn't fit. Justifications, the scope here, and its magnitude, it's all out of whack, man. It's all out of whack. Right on. Okay, the Pope, Vatican, Juan de Oñate. That's it for that, y'all. Amazing stuff. 22s are the primary murder weapon. I heard that. I heard a lot of people die from 22. Nick, never read my supas. I need to buy him a coffee. Oh, David, did you send me a super chat I did not read? My apologies, David, if you have done so. Let me see in recent history. Any David C. super chats in recent history? I sure hope. David C., this is from today. Thank you, sir. All y'all mixed white people, mutts, look the same. Thank you, David C., for the super chat. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. What's up, Federal, over there on Rumble? Nice, nice. Now, where was I? I guess that's all the big hard-hitting stuff from today, y'all. Hope you enjoyed the show. No, I'm joking. We still got a little bit more. I can show you some of these amazing scenes. You'd think it couldn't get any more amazing. You'd think the footage couldn't get any crazier. But it really can. It can. And it did. We're being served this footage from End Wokeness over there on X.com. You would think the scenes from the border couldn't get any more insane, but they can and they have. Check it out. I'm sure we heard the same whistles and cheers when the Spanish were driven out of America. You know, they were pretty tough rulers, the Spanish. They were pretty tough, okay? They were pretty tough. They weren't like the Americans. Tough too, but not like slave drivers. Like the Spanish. And they brought a whole bunch of black people. They brought them all to like Brazil and stuff. You know, all the slaves they talk about bringing them over in the ships, they all went down there to like South America and stuff. And they, like I explained to you, it takes a certain personality to make slaves profitable. Ooh, were they profitable down there? Okay, Spanish people. But anyways, I'm sure similar cheers happened back then. You seeing this? Look at this. You got to beat the snake. We got to beat the snake. We got to. Well, obviously, we don't know that. We don't realize that the snake is going to harm us. Our parents didn't teach us to beat the snake. And here we are. You know what I'm saying? Hundreds of migrants spent the night stranded on a strip of. This can't be the report from El Paso Matters. Hundreds? This looks like. Look at this. This is a storming of the border. Migrants rush across the border. This is a storming of the border. Biden administration waives laws to rush border wall construction through Texas. October 4th. I mean, like, you'd think it couldn't get any wilder, but it does. Oh, it do. Hold on. Anchor Baby Convention, yeah. This is what this is. I disavow snake beating. Different types of Asians don't like each other. Yep. Same with the different types of Latin American people. So true. So true. That's such an interesting thing about uniting a nation too. This whole concept. And then seeing that in parallel, compared to history. And that's always been a difficult thing that's never really truly worked. It's been attempted in many different ways, by religion, by race, but people always fight. Anyways, not to say, hey, this is not a justification for a melting pot society by any means. No, not at all. This is not the part where I say the scenes we just watched are okay. You've heard of fast zombies, now fast anchor babies. Oh no. I mean, incredible, right? And you've seen this story of this woke guy. They're calling him woke guy. You know, got stabbed by that black guy in Manhattan, Brooklyn? Mama didn't teach us to beat the snake. Mama. But it's the same deal. The same deal. You've heard about this story somewhere in New York. Ryan, was it another Ryan? With his Antifa Marxist girlfriend. Is she Mexican? She looks brown, maybe. But she's pictured with a license plate that says K Marx. These guys, these were like activists, defund the police type of people. He was confronted by this black individual on the street. He attempted to calm him down. I don't know why not just cross the street. By now you may have seen the video. If you don't know the story, you see the scene here where this man was stabbed to death on the streets. They were, I don't know, on a night out at an event, I forget. The point is they were confronted by this black individual who was irate, was clearly irate from down the street. You could hear him yelling. But this man and his girl, they keep walking. No sense of urgency to cross the street, go the other way or anything. In fact, he attempts to communicate with the individual. Calms him, reports say that he tried to calm him down, only to end up getting stabbed. You're supposed to beat the snake. The snake is... It told you it was a snake. It was yelling at you from a distance that there was danger. You know what I mean? So yeah, by now you've heard of this. Incredible stuff, really. An invasion. Where was I? Yeah, you're supposed to beat the snake. Letting in the, like, what I'm trying to say is, inviting your own destruction, inviting your own destruction, right? I got to show you one more thing here. Incredible moment here with an individual talking politics here. Just a little bit. Fascinating moment here. In Philadelphia. Fascinating development here in Philadelphia. Last thing I'm going to show you here. And you know, Philadelphia was a recent scene of some riots in connection with a shooting of a man with a knife. People, agitators, took to the streets to protest yet another police-involved shooting of an individual. And then the protest was in particular against the dropping of charges against this officer, as this was, in some people's eyes, another example of police brutality, police overstepping of a killing of an innocent. Blah, blah, blah. So they took to the streets. They took to the Apple store, they took to the malls, they took to the liquor stores, and they enacted revenge. They enacted their justice. They enacted their reparations, some called it. Some called it their reparations. And I've been showing you videos, in fact, of video I took myself of rioters or people who were complicit with rioters in 2020. Little young white boys, maybe females, talking about the riots and justifying it, saying the anger is justified. Not just the rioting. This is the part that got me too. Because they say that the rioting and the stealing and the looting, it's all justified in their eyes. Because these marginalized communities have had to deal with being marginalized for so long. They not only justify that, they justify the anger. They say they have a right to be angry. That's the part that makes the most sense to them. You'll hear even in the videos I played, passers-by hearing this statement agreeing, yeah, you're right. We do have a right to be angry. Very pernicious, toxic stuff. So this same Philadelphia, the scene of this rioting I'm talking about, in light of all this deception, what's happening now in Philadelphia is this incredible moment here with this commentary from this Philadelphia district attorney, Larry Krasner, American lawyer, Lawrence Samuel Krasner, American lawyer, 26th district attorney of Philadelphia. Philadelphia's a mess. Elected to his position in 2017. One of the first in the United States to run as a self-described progressive prosecutor. Campaigned to reform elements of the criminal justice system, all that stuff. Let's call it a woke DA, Soros-funded, some call him. Soros-funded woke DA. You've heard of this. You've heard of these people, soft on crime.
And says
all for the cash bails. These progressives, right? They say it's racist that these people are in jail. And like I demonstrated and described to you just yesterday, these people see letting criminals out as literally making people freer. Because they're only in there for false reasons anyways. You're literally making America a freer place by letting these criminals run loose to commit more crimes, which we've seen time and time again with headlines. Someone who's supposed to be in jail out, cash bail out for this or whatever reason. Larry Krasner does care about crime, though. He does care about crime. In this fascinating moment, he describes what he's calling individual justice. You're going to love this one. You're going to love this one, folks. He's calling this progressive, bleeding edge, brand new meta way of handling justice. He's calling it individual justice. You're going to love this one, folks. Let's watch Larry Krasner describe individual justice.
Not going to let any judge
We're not going to let any judge disturb the peace of this city.
The DA calls it individual justice and says everyone involved in the looting will be looked at on a case-by-case basis.
We'll look carefully to see whether this is a one-off situation and they're fundamentally law-abiding people, hold them accountable one way, or whether they are criminals and they're all about taking advantage. We're not going to let any judge.
Incredible stuff. I don't know if you're, that's just incredible. We talk about two-tier justice system. You know, we talk about it enough, right? And here is this example right here. This is it right here. All of a sudden, he cares about crime. All of a sudden, they're gonna have this fine-tooth comb, and they're gonna these are looters, smashing business. These are people committing crimes on camera. But Larry Krasner, with his heart towards the sun and justice, is going to, with a fine-tooth comb, pick through every single case and make sure, if you're a fundamentally law-abiding citizen, we're going to overlook this moment of looting. What do they call it? They call it the voice of the unheard, right? They call it the voice of the unheard. In 2020, when they shut everything down for COVID, well, not for the protest, though, because this is a special moment in history, right? Larry Krasner here has decided, in this case, with these people who committed crimes on camera, he's going to, with a fine-tooth comb, make sure if they're fundamentally law-abiding people, well, we might have to look the other way. I wonder if J6 people would get that same, well, obviously we already know they didn't get that same kind of treatment here. But I find this quite incredible here. Philadelphia looting arrests continue to pile up as DA's office and police review evidence with a fine-tooth comb, might add. They don't want, we got to make sure that these people are getting the proper, getting treated properly by the law. I mean, what else can I say about this, y'all? This is it right here. Larry Krasner willing to sully any last vestiges of the rule of law in Philadelphia, just willing to spit all over it. And it's amazing. He calls it individual justice. I mean, isn't that what justice is already? Isn't that the standard of justice supposed to be already? You know, you get tried individually, right? I mean, how else do you want to put it? How else should you put that? How else do you put that? You know what I mean? What are we gonna do here, Larry Krasner? Huh? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Incredible. Individual justice, they're calling it. They're calling it individual justice. All right, y'all, that's the show. That's American Anchor, baby. I hope you enjoyed today's show. We'll be back tomorrow for Thursday edition of American Anchor, baby, at 12 o'clock. We'll be back for the JLP show, Bible Thumper Thursday tomorrow, 6 a.m., 9 a.m. We got to hit it up with Hake. We do love it. Hake Report, 9 a.m., Monday through Friday. I will be live tomorrow, noon. Don't miss it. Follow, subscribe, drop that engagement. Help the stream out. Drop the like, drop the comments. It's a way to help without being, if you can't help monetarily. And let's say you hate the show. Let's say you actually want to counter signal the show and you want to cause damage. Comment away. Go ahead. Comment in the comments and tell me how much you dislike it. That's not going to help me at all. That's not going to help my engagement. Let's say you want to counter signal and ruin the show. And yeah, comment away in the comments, y'all. Anyways, y'all, what is this? Sign off number 3, sign off number 4. I can't help myself but sign off multiple times here. As I bumble with my system here. All right. Little Nick, thank you for your help. You won't be needed today any longer. Oops, I'm showing you the green screen. I'm showing you the inside baseball here. All right, Little Nick, thank you for your help. Back to Adult Nick. And I believe a sign-off. A true final sign-off for the show. Catch you tomorrow, y'all. Take care. That's American Anchor, baby. Peace. Oh, wait. How do I do it, Bill? How do I do it when I do it just me? Oh. And that's the show, folks.